Yo, welcome back everybody to a brand new episode of the Shuffle Pod. We are now on episode number 23, and of course, we got another special guest on today's episode. We got Primetime Wizard. Wancho himself, what's up?
Yo, I'm so glad to finally join the podcast. I've been a huge fan of both of you, so I'm excited. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, we're excited to have you on. Of course, you are the fourth Shuffle Squad member we've had on now on the pod, I think. So I know we've had PJ, we had For the Win, Alex, and Cal. So I think you're the fifth, actually.
Cool.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
but
hopefully we should do like an episode where it's like all of us. I don't know. It might be
like a crazy party.
That would be very crazy.
It would be very chaotic. I love it.
Very chaotic. Yeah, you're definitely a long overdue guest that we've been trying to kind of have on for a while now. Because
I actually think that you were like one of the first guests that we were like, we want to get him on. But I know like with like time zones differences, like we weren't able to like get it figured out as quickly. But we appreciate you working with us in this massive time zone difference to be able to. You're living in the future right now.
Yeah.
It's already the next day for you.
It literally just turned the 9th for me. And but yeah, no, I'm very, very glad to be on. The pleasure is mine for sure. In fact, you guys invited me a little bit early on, and I was like, wait, I have an event coming up and I want to talk about that, but I can't talk about it yet. So I was like, can we do it the next week? And you guys did move it, and I'm very hyped to talk about that for sure. So no, yes, thank you for having me on.
No worries, yeah, because you've done quite a bit of casting too with TPCI over in Asia, right?
Yes, TPC. It's a
TPC,
the non-international version. But yeah.
Yeah, we are excited to have you on and talk about all of that stuff. And even your journey as a content creator, maybe how you joined the Shuffle Squad and all that good stuff. We also want to talk a bit about San Diego. As we're recording this, day one of San Diego has concluded. At the time we are recording this, however, day two has not yet started, or at the very least, the stream hasn't started. So we don't, unfortunately, have enough info on day two yet, and due to like time zone stuff, we weren't able to record this any other day. So we're going to talk a bit about day one San Diego, because there's actually a lot of interesting stuff we saw on stream, and a few big name players playing some pretty interesting decks at San Diego. So definitely excited to kind of discuss that. But before we get into that, of course, we got to do our weekly recap. It is now the new year. The new year, new me, and it is now 2023, and it's been a minute since we've done a weekly recap, so we'll start things off here with Lindsay. How has your week been?
Yeah, so like we, LDF and I kind of like made, I think I might have talked about this last week, but we kind of like made our podcast schedule like out like through like February basically. So like we were starting the new year like super organized, super scheduled, super strong. And so we had planned that we would have like a large break in between the last episode that aired in terms of recording versus this one. Like we recorded the episode that just came out, like on the 4th, we recorded that one like December 26th.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we haven't recorded in a couple weeks, but like we did that on purpose so that we could like have a little, break over the holidays and whatnot. So like, this is kind of like a weird, like 2-week / like New Year's recap.
Yeah.
But so you guys know I've been getting super, super into Pokemon Violet recently. And I've been, since I finished the Pokedex and I got my shiny charm, I've been doing a lot of shiny hunting. I've been researching a lot of shiny hunting, which has been different and so fun for me. And I've been doing a lot of like Pokemon breeding as well, which is, there's so much to it. It goes so much deeper than I ever thought. And like, there's so much that goes behind it. So like, I have mad respect for people who do that like a lot, because it's kind of difficult. But I did end up breeding myself a shiny Charmander. So I now have a shiny Charmander. I'm so freaking pumped. Yeah, it's been so much fun. But I've been preparing for Orlando as well, which I'm super excited for. Less than a month away. Going to be, at Orlando, finally, one of my first regional, or it is my first regional of the season. So I'm excited for that. We did officially find out that we won the gingerbread contest. I know you guys have all been like losing sleep over it, but I did post it on Twitter that we did win that gingerbread decorating competition. But I've been loving work. Like work has been really, really great for me. getting a lot of opportunities there, and work has actually been really, really great, even though like that's all I do basically. But I have a couple of new things to show you guys. This was an unexpected Funko grab. Like, I got Erica from Stranger Things. So I just went to Walmart with one of my best friends. Like, we were out like shopping and stuff, and we were like, oh, let's just like run into Walmart. She knows I like am into the Pokemon stuff, but she doesn't really know anything about it. She was like, oh, we could like check and see if they have Pokemon cards for you. And I'm like, okay, let's go to Walmart. And so I snagged this Erica Funko Pop. And something else that I have, I know I told you guys about the energy project that I was working on, where I was collecting one of each type of psychic energy that was ever printed.
Oh, okay.
So there was a little hiccup to where I'm still waiting on two of them. I'm still waiting on two of them because I had ordered them and then I'd never received them from TCG Player, and I like sent a little message. I'm like, oh, where's my stuff? And I had to get that refunded, and so I had to order them again. So they're on their way. I should get them soon, but I have 3 of these little panels, okay? 3 of these panels, big reveal. So this one is the one that is the, if you're watching on the video, you can see this is the one that is like the latest in terms of like this one right here being the 2022 energy. And then like the secret rare, like we're going all the way back to like the sun and moon. Mm-hmm. So this one is complete, but I still have one missing on the other 2. Missing one on each of the other 2. So I'm almost completely done with this project.
Nice.
You almost have every psychic energy?
One of every English psychic energy printed.
Okay.
I didn't do the Japanese ones because there was one specific one, it was like from like a movie, and I did so much research on all this, you guys. Like one from like a movie marathon, or like some type of thing or whatever from like 2007 that looks like a spiral almost, and that is like impossible to find. Impossible. But I'm still waiting on my first edition Shadowless psychic energy to come in. And then I'm waiting on the, I can't remember the name of it, I can't even remember the name of it, but some type of energy that's like in like the 2010 era.
Which one's your favorite though?
Which one is my favorite? Good question. Playing wise, I personally love Generations. I love the Generations energies, the one with the stripes. I love those. I think that they are just, I don't know why, I just love them. I have like a bunch of every type for playing. But in terms of, the heart gold, soul silver ones are just,
they're nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Call of Legends
so
ones are
good.
nice.
Call of Legends.
Call of Legends. Yeah.
They're
Just
really nice.
That one was expensive. That one was probably my most expensive one.
The evolutions on the energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it was more than the secrets, gold ones. So
yeah. Because even on TCGO, Call of Legends energies are very expensive. There's a lot of like rich players who will swear by Call of Legends energies over the gold energies, and they like the Call of Legends ones on PTCGO. They're just so nice with the shine and stuff.
Yeah,
but I would imagine it'd be most expensive.
But it's sad it's not transferable, right? It's not gonna live in
that,
live.
Don't talk about it. I don't want to.
of course it's not going to live in live.
Yeah. Rip in the chat. I think the Umbreon one would be the most expensive energy, right? I think.
I know the Espeon one is pretty expensive.
Yeah, no, I think I'd imagine Umbreon. I think would be the most expensive one because I know Umbreon's on Dark, and then Espeon's on Psychic.
And I am rocking that Espeon beanie today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of been it for me, for the most part. So what about you, LDF?
So yeah, it's been a while since we've done the weekly recap. I've done a lot. So I guess like. During the New Year's, me and a couple of my buddies went out and we hung out for a bit for the night. And I was able to get 2 of my closest friends to hang out again. And they were kind of beefing for a while, for like a good 5-6 months, over like some of the stupidest drama I've ever seen in my life. And finally got them to reconnect and be friends with again on New Year's Eve, because I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to kind of leave things in the past, which I've been really kind of focusing on with myself this year. And thankfully I was able to do that. So getting my friends to kind of hang out again and squash the beef was really nice. I've gone to locals 2 times. I won on the 30th of December for the tournament. I was actually playing the cheesiest deck ever. I was playing Wheezing Aerodactyl, Crobat VMAX with like Empoleon and Miltank and like 2 Evil Talls and a Drapion. And I played against Lugia and Mew and I just like farmed him. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm playing this. Like it was pretty dirty, but a win's a win. And then I was there this past Friday at Locals and I brought a Lost Zone Charizard Evil Tall amazing rare like deck. So it's basically like the Sableye Cramsar deck with Evil Tall. And I got second place. Almost got back-to-back wins at Locals. I haven't done that yet. I lost to Lost Gudra in the finals, which we can probably talk about a bit later. I know Lost Gudra is actually making a bit of a showing at San Diego. And then what else have I been doing? I think last night I hung out with my buddy for a bit. We actually, I think, went up to Dave and Buster's, and I actually won big on, you know those games where you like, you like shoot the coins on like the thing and they push the coins into the hole.
Did you drop the tower?
Yeah, bro. I think on the third hit, I got like a massive friggin' tower. It's an Angry Birds game. I got like a massive
I thought
tower.
those were rigged.
I think so, but like I got this massive tower, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to keep dumping money into this card so I can keep getting this tower because I gotta get that friggin' tower in. And I kid you not, I didn't have enough left to do another game, so I would have had to reload my card again. So I would have had to spend like another like $20. But what happened was on the very last hit that I had, I got the thing to go into the yellow Angry Bird that like allows like a bunch of coins to fall out onto the pad, so it pushes it more. And I got like 16, and I got the tower in the hole on the very last hit that I had. If I didn't get that, I would have had to get more coins. I would have to spend more money. But I got the tower. I won like 1,000 tickets or something. It was crazy.
Let's
Cash
go.
out. What'd you get?
Yeah, a bunch of tickets.
Yeah, but
like,
did you spend
like on
the
your
tickets?
card. No, I'm saving that up.
Save
They don't
it
really
up.
have
Okay,
anything
okay.
interesting there. They have like Funko Pops, so they're kind of like the ones you can find at like Walmart. Some of the toys there, I guess, are cool. I'm thinking about saving up for like a giant, like I'm talking a giant Squirtle plushie. Like it's
worth.
huge. Yeah, it's like bigger than me or something like that. It's pretty big. So I might be saving up for that honestly, because that'd be a kind of cool thing to have. I don't know if I have room for it, but like it'd be kind of.
He can sleep in the bed. Just like put him on the bed.
Yeah.
We make room.
We'll make room for Squirtle. And then, yeah, other than that, yeah. So speaking of Funko Pops, of course, with like all the Christmas money and everything, I've had a bit more extra money to spend on Funkos. And I bought 3 pretty big ones. The first one we got here is Black Widow from Civil War. And as I don't know if y'all know this, but I do have this Winter Soldier on the pop right here. So that's like my most expensive pop. So I'm like, I might as well complete the set and get all 4 of these. And I got this for like a pretty good price because it's not like it's kind of beat up a little bit, but I didn't really care. And then I got Dracula here. So this is a really cool set. Universal monsters, basically based off of like the old monsters from like the 50s or the 30s and stuff. Like it's got Wolfman, Creature from the Lagoon, Phantom of the Opera, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. This one was pretty expensive, but like it's a really cool pop. It's really detailed. I just really like it. I'm a huge horror fan, so I'm like, I gotta get it. My friend also got it, so I was like, all right. And I finally was able, last night, I actually picked up one of my biggest Grail pops I've ever wanted. I've wanted this pop for a while, and I don't know why it took me so long to get it. But I got Baskin-Robbins Steve from Stranger Things.
Scoops Ahoy!
Scoops Ahoy, yeah. I've been wanting this pop for so long, and it kept going up in price, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta pull the trigger eventually. I was too lazy, but I finally caved in and bought it last night, and I love it. It is easily my favorite Funko Pop I own, to be honest. Like, it's just, I just like the colors, and I even like the little Baskin-Robbins sticker. It's just a nice pop, and I'm a huge Stranger Things fan, and Steve's my favorite character, and Season 3 is my favorite season, so there you go. It just kind of, like, works out perfectly. But, Wancho, how has your week been?
It's been a very, very eventful week. I haven't been able to play too much Pokemon lately. Locals are pretty much on break for the holidays. But I've been playing a lot of Scarlet and Violet, just like Linty. I'm trying to complete the Pokedex. If can I borrow a Golden Go real quick? I'll give it right back.
I was going to say, let me know if you need help.
And but yeah, it's the Golden Go, you know? That's the hardest piece. I'm like 12 Pokemon away. I have all of them lined up with my son's game, and it's just the Golden Go that's going to be the big problem. Other than that, I made a raid deck. If I don't know if you guys are familiar with the raid format. It's where I play against a ton of people. It's Pokemon TCG, and it's been a lot of fun because I get to play with my kid, my partner, and they're all trying to beat me. I went easy on them, and they brought out Mew and Lugia, and I got absolutely wrecked.
Aww.
But yeah, other than that, it's been it's the holidays. It's been really, really busy. I got back from Singapore. That was a lot of fun. And for show and tell, I was cleaning up. I showed you guys this before we started, but I was like cleaning up my office because I did have toys. And one of the things I love is I have the Millennium Puzzle. Not Pokemon, but I'm a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan as well.
Huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan, yeah, love Yu-Gi-Oh.
When I have the Bandai one where it doesn't come with instructions on how to build it, so it actually took me like months to solve because I would work on it while watching movies with my partner, but I dropped it, so it's in pieces right now while I was cleaning my office. Unfortunately, the spirit of the Pharaoh isn't with me, so it's gonna be. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to reassemble it. I'm pretty excited though. I'm like excited to just mess around with it for sure. Another thing I wanted to show, but because I came from Singapore, I casted in Singapore, and you have to know I spent a good amount of money in the Pokemon Center there, and one of my big buys was like the big Quaxley plush. And it's right here. It's like, if you can see my screen, my video, it's like right there.
Oh yeah, I can see like the
I
blue
see
on
the
it.
little head, yeah.
It's right there. I was gonna pull it out, but it's holding up the Primetime Wizard sign, so it's holding up one of my lights right now. So it's doing a very, very important job. But it's there. You can see it. Who's that?
Yes,
Pokemon?
he's doing great. He is doing a great job.
And then one last thing, I've been trying to find the space for this. It's hard, right? Like, well, I'm not like Linty. Her setup's amazing. I love how you get to show off a lot of the things that you love. But I'm a huge fan of the Kingdom Hearts series, and I bought this really early on in my streaming career. I was like, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna display it. It's gonna be awesome. But I like bought an actual Keyblade.
Look at that.
It's just it won't even fit in the.
It's huge.
Yeah, it even lights up and everything, and I'm just like. I bought this for the stream, for my stream. I'm like, oh, I can't find a space for it. And now it's just in like the corner of my office the entire time. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to show this off.
Yeah.
No worries.
I feel like people don't get to show off their stuff too much. So I feel like it's a good little moment to do
after
so.
the holidays too, you're like, you just know we have a ton of stuff.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Pokemon players
It's
are
like
the
perfect.
easiest people to buy gifts for, like.
Oh, yeah.
Me and my partner basically just exchanged packs. Yeah. Oh, I pulled the
That
Charizard
works,
off like one pack like this week.
Ooh.
Oh,
That was
I
pretty
did.
fun.
I saw you tweet that. I did see you tweet that.
Yeah, I was having a tough day, and I was at work.
You're like. I saw you like ask. You're like, can I open one pack?
Yeah, because my partner is the one who does all the shopping. I'm the player. I'm more of the player and all that, and then she just loves opening packs and everything. So she has like a collection of packs, and I'm just like, I'm having a really bad day. It's like at work, and I was just like, can I open a pack to just wake up? And she was like, sure. I open it up, one pack, alternate art Charizard, and I was just like, yeah,
and you
my
felt
day's
something.
amazing now.
That would wake you up.
Yeah. But yeah, amazing week, and just thank you for asking.
No worries. Yeah, we figured we would all have had pretty good recaps because it's been a minute, and I know the holidays things can get a little bit chaotic, but that means you got better stories out of it,
Chaotic is good.
I agree.
But remember, you guys, you can always ask the podcast. You can send questions to us about things you want to know. So you send them to podcast@theshufflesquad.com. You can also send us suggestions, topic ideas you'd like to hear, and even recommend guests that you would like to see on the podcast. So make sure you guys check that out. Something that we want to plug really quickly before going into our commercials and our Pokedex word, Guess That Pokemon, is something that is very exciting for the Shuffle Squad. So we do have some big news to announce for us, and we kind of hinted at it a little bit at the last week on our podcast. And yeah, I know, a busted, insane thumbnail picture. Oh my gosh. Insane. Busted, cracked. It's some great news, you guys. Some great, exciting news for the Shuffle Squad. You guys won't even believe it. So, Drum roll, please. The Tournament of Champions. So we, the Shuffle Squad, are taking over the late night series. Late night series, bah, out of here. Tournament of Champions, bah, in here. So starting in February, we'll be taking over the late night series and doing the next Tournament of Champions series. So we're going to be having, professional casters such as, somebody over here, possibly, somebody over here being a caster. A stream setup and production crew that is led by John, who is one of the managers of the Shuffle Squad and who edits our podcast for us. And so the crazy thing about this is that at the end of the tournament series, there's going to be an invitational that we're going to hold, and there is a pretty sweet grand prize. Who wants to go over the grand prize?
Let me do it. So
Yeah, do.
If you win the Tournament of Champions, not only do you win a flight to Japan, everyone's been giving flights to Japan lately. We're giving away the whole shebang. That means your hotel stay is paid for as well. And that's honestly most of the expense. So hotel and flight to Japan. And you know what? Meet and greet with us and a signed jersey. I mean, we don't even have jerseys yet, the three of us. And you're probably going to get one before that.
Preach.
It's a pretty high.
So
jerseys,
that's insane. Yeah. Jerseys,
Very
please, thank you.
insane. Insane pricing. Because I know Japan is going to be expensive for a lot of people. It's not cheap to fly down there, especially from different parts of the world that some people are in. But, of course, if you want to get that free flight and get that hotel paid and just get to meet us and all that good stuff, what's a better prize than winning the Tournament of Champions?
100%.
But that is super exciting. I'm really excited about that. I'm very
Same.
excited about that.
That's awesome.
I think just winning the Tournament of Champions is such a big deal. If we're taking over the late night series, and the late night series has been known to be like the biggest online series right now, right?
Yeah, basically
whenever
the
someone
biggest
wins it,
tournament.
it's a big deal. It's meta defining what wins the late night, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
it can really shape, and it might even affect like regionals. Like if you win the late night, that deck might end up being a deck that wins the regionals. I think it's happened before. Like it's come close. Like I think Rayquaza, Amazing Rare, first stemmed from the late night series, and then all of a sudden now it's like a top tier Lost Box deck. I think it's like the second most played deck, third most played deck at San Diego.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you guys are following the Shuffle Squad on the socials. That way you can kind of keep updated about that. Make sure that you do not miss any of those, because it is an invitational at the end. So, that the points are going to rack up throughout the series, but you don't want to miss any. So make sure you guys are keeping your eyes peeled for that. I'm excited too. It's going to be a really, really cool project for us. And I'm excited. Lots of opportunities all around.
For sure.
But if you guys are looking to get a great price on all Pokemon TCG products, you got to head over to Atlas Collectibles and see their huge selection of Pokemon cards. And at the checkout, make sure you use your code TSS12 to save yourself 12% on your order. With PTCGO Store, you get the latest codes for PTCGO, just like the rest of the squad with our sponsors, PTCGOstore.com. You can use code TSS5, save yourself 5% on your order. And lastly is your playmat. So if you want a custom playmat, I know there's tons of creative people out there. Custom playmat, you can upload your own image. If you use the code TSS5YP, you save yourself that 5%. They also have, I think there's a way that you can get the Shuffle Squad logo on a playmat. I think they already have that as an option to buy, and that directly supports us at the Shuffle Squad. So we appreciate all your support. I think it is time now that we guess that Pokemon.
Yeah, and I will be
Pokemon.
choosing today's Pokemon. So, Wanchi, you know how to play the game?
I just I'm gonna give 5 Pokemon, and you guys are gonna be clues, and we're just trying to guess. Yeah, 5 clues,
sort
right?
of.
5 guesses.
So I got a Pokemon.
It's just like the Pokex Word game online. So like the PokeXWord.com, where they have all your daily Pokemon inspired puzzles.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then I'm going to say a Pokemon. I'm going to say the first amount of letters in its name, and then you got to guess it. I'm going to give what generation it's from. And every time you get a question wrong, I give another hint until you eventually guess that Pokemon, you know? Alrighty then.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll start things off here. This Pokemon is from generation numero 4. Number 4.
Generation 4.
It starts with 7 letters. So
Gen 4, is that Soul
7
Silver?
letters. No, that's Diamond and Pearl. That's the Diamond and Pearl
dude.
era.
Let's go with the first Pokemon in Gen 4. Turtwig?
Nope. Unfortunately, it ain't Turtwig. This one,
Gen 4.
yeah, this one might be not easier, but it's a Pokemon that I think y'all would maybe be more familiar with than like other Gen 4 Pokemon. That'll
Yeah, 'cause I'm
be
like-
the hint.
You know what? Okay.
I'm like, Gen 4?
I think I have my next
Gen
guess
4.
then.
Okay.
I don't even know like where to start with Gen 4.
Giratina? Is that?
It is not Giratina. Good guess though.
I'm going to need a hint before I even like guess because I honestly can't even name hardly any Gen 4 Pokemon.
Yeah. This Pokemon well, we'll give it a bit of a hint. I'm going to try to see if I can... Okay. This Pokemon is blue. That's its color. Primarily, it's a blue Pokemon.
I think Empoleon has too many letters, I think, Ian.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm checking too.
Yeah, no, that's too many letters. I think that's like 9 or something. Actually, I think I know more Gen 4 because I think Luxray's Gen 4, right? But that's 6 letters.
Yeah. Luxray's not.
That's 6 letters.
Unfortunately
Okay.
not.
I'm starting to
I've done 2 guesses. Do you get one, Lindsay?
see Mint. Let me say Munchla. No, that's more than I'll guess Lucario.
That's right. It is
Oh,
Lucario.
that's supposed to be my next one.
What? What? She's
It was
crazy.
Lucario, yeah. It
I'm
was
trying to
indeed
think. I'm like,
Lucario.
I'm trying to think of all the blue guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. That was pure luck. That was pure luck.
There's
Yeah,
a ton
that's
of
why I
blue
said it's-
Pokemon in this gen.
Yeah. That's why I said it's a little bit more of like an easier guess because everyone knows Lucario. It's one of the most popular Pokemon from...
Yeah, when you said that, I'm thinking like, well, Super Smash Bros.
Oh, true. Yeah, Lucario. Yeah, I
Like
forgot
it's
about
on
that.
Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, Lucario's a
I was
character in that.
thinking
That
of
is
So is
something
Greninja.
TCG relevant,
Yeah,
you know? I was like,
Greninja.
oh, Tina, easy.
Yeah.
I think Glaceon isn't. I think Glaceon and Leafeon are both Gen 4 as well.
Yep.
I do know more Gen 4 Pokemon than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, Gen 4 is goated. Gen 4 is
Is
goated.
Glaceon even 7? GLACE.
Yeah, I think it
Oh,
is.
yeah, it is 7. Okay.
Could have been Glaceon too, but it's Lucario. Glaceon is blue.
Okay.
So, okay.
Pokex Word, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokexWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
All right. Well, we can go ahead and move on to our main topic of today's podcast. So first, we just want to talk about Primetime Wizard. We want to talk all about Primetime Wizard. We want to know it all. We want to know how you got into Pokemon content creation, and kind of hear like a little bit of backstory about that.
Cool. There's multiple. I've been playing the game for over 10 years, probably more at this point. Well, TCG competitively 10 years. I've been playing Pokemon, I feel like almost my entire life since Gen 2, pretty much. And but yeah, so TCG, it was a funny story. Back in college, I wanted to be a cool guy. I joined a radio station, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make friends. I'm gonna try and fit in. My first week in that radio station, some guy was like, "Hey, Wantro, there's like a Pokemon tournament we want to check out. Like, we don't want to know what's up with that." I'm like, "Wait, no, serious? Let's go."
You're like, you guys think that's cool?
No, yeah, and ever since then, I've been friends with. A lot of them actually were really into Pokemon, and I've been playing the games my entire life. I'm like, yeah, and now, literally that day itself, I went home with a Boundaries Crossed box. I was just like, I'm just gonna buy a box straight up, and then built a deck. My first deck was Empoleon, and from there it's history. I still keep in touch with all the people I met like my first day in the Pokemon community.
Nice.
But yeah, and then unfortunately I had to take a break around I participated in Worlds. I did a Worlds and then I took a break because life. I had to move to the US. I had a son as well. But when my son turned 4, at least 4 or 5, one of my friends, again, one of the people I met in my first day in the community, they gifted him a box of like the Pikachu V box, and he opened it and absolutely loved it. Like his face just became so bright, and my partner really got into opening packs as well. And I was like, you know what? Now it's time. I like dusted out at the old binder. You think the Pikachu's cool? I was like, I pulled out because I had like all the full art EXs and everything. I was like, yeah, it's time. And then we all as a family just got back into Pokemon. And because of so this is my first foray into content creation, was just me and my family opening packs, right? It was just me and my camera, and I was just like shooting our reactions to different packs that we get to open. Unfortunately, his favorite Pokemon ended up being Charizard. Hardest thing. I would have to, if my kid is watching this, I skip this part if you're watching this for any reason or in the future. But I used to like just buy the Charizards, just stick them in the packs, just so that would be good.
Oh my god, genius, mad genius!
Just so that we'd be like, oh, we're done with the set, yes.
Oh my god, he's gonna go be like, I had insane luck opening packs when I was a kid.
It was all a lie.
He doesn't have to know that. He doesn't have to know that.
He doesn't have to know.
We didn't
No.
I didn't post those videos though as like because those are the thing. Those are like our personal things. But yeah, and that's how I got into content, and because of that, I kind of reignited I wanted to start playing again because I was seeing all these cards. I was seeing all my old cards, and it's because of the whole Limitless series. I was like, I get to play PTCGO. I never stopped playing PTCGO. Mm-hmm. So I knew the meta and everything, but this really got me into like, I want to win stuff. I want to be able to compete again. And that actually led into, we ended up, so we were doing like a YouTube channel. It was called Charizard Kid. And then, but that started becoming really time consuming. And then while I was playing in the Limitless tournament, so I'm getting back into the Filipino community. Someone reaches out and they're looking for a caster in a big tournament. It was called the Battle Festival Asia. So TPC's first, it was our first big tournament during the pandemic. So it was going to be online, but it was going to be multi-region. So there's going to be people from Singapore, from Philippines. And the cool thing is what they did is they did a celebrity death match. So they picked a celebrity from the Philippines. They fought a celebrity from the Singapore, from Malaysia. It was really fun. It was a really cool event. But they were looking for a caster. And this is, again, a caster from anyone in Southeast Asia. And I thought, what? Throw my hat in the ring. I'd apply. I didn't realize it was going to be the scariest thing ever to try and apply for. Because I was like, oh, they got me I got the interview. I load up my, it's online interview, again, through Zoom. Pandemic. It's like 6 people from Japan. And it's like I didn't realize it was going to be a panel interview. And I was just like, hi, yeah, my name's Wantro. I have experience in hosting. So I'm an event host. I used to do radio, and I love Pokemon. So I was just like, oh, those things kind of come together.
They do.
And their main question was, do I stream on Twitch? I'm like, no. I was like, okay. They're like, no, I'm sorry. We're looking for a streamer to be able to be the caster for this event. I'm like, no. I really had to. You're like
when I said no, I meant.
I was literally. I wasn't gonna. I literally said that I really had to sell myself after that. Like, I wanted the job. Like, casting has been really is one of my dreams. I love being able to host events, and just being able to host a Pokemon event, that was gonna be a dream come true. And I really sold myself after that. I was like, no. I have no experience on Twitch on the platform, but I used to do radio, so I'm used to be able to talk to this in long, extended periods of time. I love this game. I know the game like the back of my hand. I really, really saw myself after that. And I was like, and I told him, you know what? I'll even start streaming. So I started.
You're like, I'll start streaming. Oh, you're like, I'll start streaming right now.
Yeah, the same day I made my channel. I didn't even have the Primetime Wizard name yet. I was using like my old D&D name. It was like Oriz. It was really hard to say. And yeah, and then after that, I got hired for the event. It was an absolute blast. I got to meet so many people. Really, really fell in love with casting. But at the same time, I was streaming on Twitch. I was like, wait, this is like having a radio show, but I'm playing a game that I love. And I'm interacting live. Because, in a radio show, you're like waiting, people call in. No one really gets to call in. This is like live interaction. I was like, this is even better. And I was like, I fell in love with that. The event ended and all that. Contracts were done. And I was like, no, I'm going to keep streaming. This is way too fun. And yeah, and that's my story. Sorry, it's a long, extended story.
We
but
like
this is what we wanted.
story.
This is what we wanted.
We like the juicy stories,
Because it's such a unique backstory. You know what I mean? It's so different than anything we've heard.
Yeah. This one thing really led to another, and I don't think I'd be able to be sitting like here across from you today if like my friend didn't give my son a Pikachu box. Right, if I didn't decide to go to that Pokemon tournament 10 years ago, things wouldn't have happened this way. And I just think I'm just really thankful for all the different series of events that lead to all the amazing things that have happened the past year. Because I've only been streaming for a year. I think you and me, Lindsay, started at the same time.
Right. Yeah. And something else I want to talk about too is there's so much I want to know. So I want to talk more about your casting stuff, because I know that we pushed off your episode for a week or so because you did something that was really exciting, and I really want to talk about that. But first, since you are a Shuffle Squad member, we have to ask you about your Shuffle Squad starter story.
Okay.
So the quadruple S. How did PJ convince you?
It's funny. It's not he didn't convince me. I actually, because I've heard about the Shuffle Squad. I'm like, oh, LDF, Zach Lesage. I'm like, and I didn't have a team. I've never been part of like a Pokemon team before.
Yeah.
Here in Asia, it's like, oh, my team is just my group of friends that I play with. I'm like, wow, and yeah. So it's the funniest story. PJ drops into my Twitch chat, and he interacts. I actually didn't know who he was at the time, and then someone in my chat was just like, "Oh, that's the big Shuffle Squad guy." I'm like, "What?"
That's the big guy.
Is someone trolling me? And I end up joking. Am I being scouted right now? And then I act like I'm like in an interview, and then I was like, "Wait, it's real." I was like, oh snap! It is. Because while I'm streaming, I'm like doing my background. Oh, this PJ. Oh my god, this is real. This is the guy from the Shuffle Squad. I'm like,
not a dream.
Really nervous on stream, and he stops. He just stops by. He just says hi and he interacts a bit. He wasn't like, hey, come join the team or anything. I was like, I had like 500, 600 followers at the time, and I was just like, I was just like. I was nervous, but I was just like, a continued stream, like it was like a normal thing. And then literally, it was funny. At the time, I had a Discord channel. I had a mod for the Discord, and he was doing like a lot of changes in the Discord at the time. I was like, I gave him free reign. Unfortunately, one of the things he added was like this timer kickout thing, where if you didn't click the check mark in like 2 days or whatever, it kicks you out of my Discord. And then so like I find out, and again I'm like, I want to join the team. I'm like, oh, that was dope. I'm like, I wonder if I'm gonna hear from him again. And he mentions in the chat that he joins the Discord. I checked the Discord. I'm like, he's not in here. I was like, I checked the thing. I was like, he did join. And I talked to my mod. I was like, I think you kicked out like the big boss of the Shuffle Squad. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Luckily he did come back. And we ended up interacting. Yeah. And
that's funny.
Yeah, and eventually he did bring up that if I wanted to make videos for the Shuffle Squad, I at the time I've never made YouTube videos. I'm not, the most I've done was like pack opening, really amateur pack openings. I never done this is the deck list. This is how we play it. We play it. I have no editing skills whatsoever either. So I'm like, you're gonna have to help me out with that. And luckily, they were very, very inviting. Like, he was the nicest dude about it, because I was really nervous.
He is very
and,
nice.
Very
He's a
nice,
very
very
nice
nice.
guy.
He's wholesome.
Yeah, and then
Too wholesome though. Kidding.
He likes to play control, and he likes to like ruin people's life while he's playing Pokemon. But he's like the nicest guy ever.
he's the best boss, to be honest. Whenever there's
Oh my
any issue at all, right? It's like he's really, really easy to talk to. He's like the point person. And yeah, eventually he did ask me to be part of the team, and I was very, very stoked about it. But it was like a series of events. It wasn't like, oh, get this guy. No, it was we worked on the relationship, and eventually I was able to join, and the rest is history.
Yes, sir.
And here we are.
Yes. So thank you, PJ.
You're even wearing the Shuffle Squad shirt right now.
I am. That's how proud I am.
I don't even have one. What's up with that? But I haven't been to like any event, so
Hopefully soon again we get the jersey. The jerseys are amazing,
nice.
guys.
They look nice.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, anyone in chat, make sure you check out Twitter. Find I'm sure if you do hashtag TSS win, you'll probably see it. And fingers crossed, the three of us get some soon.
Yeah, the jerseys, they're too hard. Yeah, they're nice. They're nice.
Yeah.
but we can kind of move on a little bit to like some of the casting stuff, because I know you just kind of had a pretty big thing happen.
Yes. Yeah, so I did get to cast the Pokemon Championship Asia, and it's the first big event for TPC. It was kind of a big honestly, it was kind of a big deal. So
Yeah.
the Philippines, this is our first time under TPC, so they're still kind of experimenting with our events. And yeah, like, this was something I had to apply for again. It wasn't, despite me being able to work for them in the past, it's still a gig. And luckily we did get the job. So they did. This is the first time I ever got to experience TPC, someone flying me, like, a different country. I'm from the Philippines. They flew me to Singapore, paid for my hotel, some of my food, and just to do Pokemon. I'm just like, isn't this the best thing? I'm like traveling the world right now and then traveling the world to meet friends. I would have gone to an event anyway if I didn't get the job. But yeah, I thought it was absolutely amazing. My girlfriend tagged along. I was like, hey, free vacation. I just paid for a ticket.
That's true. Vacation.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, so I was very, very glad to do that. But again, it was one of the biggest events we've had this season for us, for TPC. It's not as big as like a regional in in the US or anything, but it's still it's a very, very big step for us here at TPC. And the production quality, I think, was like a little bit higher than what I've done in the past, because I've also casted like official events for the Philippines, but it's specifically TPC events for the Philippines. But yeah, this is like a lot of people from Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, Philippines. They all came together, and if whoever won this tournament gets round 2 automatically for our national championship. Just to give you guys like a why that's such a big deal. Whoever wins our national championships gets the day 2 to Worlds, the stipend. They're not point chasing. I think anyway. That's how it was in the last season. We have to probably get a little bit more clarity, but that was the prizing for our last national championship. The whole shebang, no point chasing. You win this tournament, you get the invite, day 2.
That's crazy.
Stipend, yeah, everything. So it's
almost
pretty
like that
big
kind of
deal.
makes sense.
Yeah. So it was a pretty big tournament. It was like so many amazing players. Like Colin Tang. Sorry, a lot of the names are eluding me, but yeah, it's just a lot of great Asian players I haven't been able to see. I was able to finally meet Cash, like people I interact with on like Limitless. A lot of online friends. I finally got to see them, and I was just like, it was amazing.
Always really cool.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience, and Yeah, and like Nicholas Young from Singapore was my partner, and it's funny. He was the one who hosted the Southeast Asia Open, on Limitless. So a lot of the stuff actually comes from Limitless, you know, and yeah, he was the one who hosted the Southeast Asia Open. Which when he had to end it, I tried to pick it up with the Primetime Weekly, which I'm trying to bring back as well now that I'm back here in Asia, and yeah, it's been an absolutely amazing experience. I think I was able to bring. I wasn't the newbie this time, you know. Like I've been able to have cast a couple of things. I have a lot of I've experienced now under my belt. A lot of which is also thanks to the Shuffle Squad. I got to host the Tournament of Champions with just like you guys, and I thought that was a great experience. And yeah, I think
I was actually going to bring that up because I remember back when we did the Tournament of Champions and like I think all of us casted at some point. And I remember reading some of the comments on the YouTube and they were like, Primetime is awesome. And like, I personally didn't know that. I can't remember a time where either you have told me or like I've heard you say it, but I didn't know that you had a background in radio.
Yeah.
So that's actually really interesting because like people were like, oh my God, like Primetime was like a freaking like.
No, my favorite thing to do is just during streams, just go time check is 1:06 in the morning. That is brought to you by PrimeTimeWizardTV. I just love doing
it's
that.
It's awesome though. Like I love it. Like it's a different skill that I don't think people realize. Not only just being able to talk, you know, behind a camera is one thing, like, you know, but it's like it's something about that voice, you know what I mean? You have the radio voice, and I think that's really, really interesting. And like, I don't know any other Pokemon person who has like a background in radio.
I heard
Hello, my name's
PTCG Radio.
Wizard, and yeah, I know how to voice a radio.
Welcome to the Primetime Wizard radio station. Q100 FM.
No, but yeah, it definitely has come in handy, especially doing Twitch as well. I don't know, maybe like quick tip for anyone who wants to be aspiring Twitch or caster out there. It's something that I did get to carry over from my radio days is dead air. Like whenever there's dead air, I just get like a ping at the back of my head. Just talk, do something, talk, think about something. Like it's never quiet, like in my stream or like when I'm casting, like so it makes my brain like think a little bit faster, I think, in certain situations, like when it's a little bit quiet, like because a lot of times when you're hosting an event as an event host or during radio, you know, you just have to step up, you have to think of something to do. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to say yet and you're going to start your sentence. I don't know, maybe not the best advice, but it's been working for me.
I mean, yeah, that's a very, very good point.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to have like that dead air where you're not talking. I do that in my stream sometimes when like I notice maybe chat's a little bit slower or there's not much to talk about. I always try to keep the conversation going in the stream to, you know, make sure there's no dead air, right? Because it makes it awkward.
It's harder than it looks too, because like talking 100%. To yourself, I mean, is one thing. Like you're not really talking to yourself, but you know, not having that like another person physically like talking back to you. Like I don't think people realize how difficult it is sometimes. And then like, you know, someone who is like in their head a lot, like me, it's like then you're thinking things and you're like, wait, I'm like not saying stuff out loud right now.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Like I'm not like talking.
Yeah, whenever there's dead air, like when you're during a really tense moment in a tournament, for example, I'm just like, you have to excuse me, I'm gonna be quiet for a sec because I'm gonna do a big play.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't be talking while I do this, so I'm gonna be right back. You like go to town like with your mouse like.
Yeah, I do that when I'm making videos. Like I try to talk the entire gameplay because personally, like I don't like dead air. Even in YouTube videos, like it can be awkward, especially on Pokemon where it's a bit slower, more like methodical. You don't have like as much engagement, I find. So like that's why I try to talk the most I can when I'm making videos, because I don't want to make sure anyone gets bored or clicks on the video. I make sure there's no dead air. I always just try to talk, you know? So even if I say things that don't make any sense or I like repeat myself, I just want to make sure I'm saying something so people don't get bored when they're watching me, especially on Pokemon, right? When it's a little bit of a slower game and it can, you know, turns can take longer, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
That's
Especially
why I
if your
think
opponent
I've
is-
been enjoying streaming Pokemon Violet recently, because I do have diagnosed ADHD, and sometimes for me it's really, really hard to play Pokemon the trading card game while still trying to be like entertaining and talk, because like if I'm not focusing on the game, then obviously like I'm not going to do well, and like that's kind of been something that I've been struggling with like the entirety of me streaming. But when I started streaming Pokemon Violet, I realized like, oh, I don't like have to be like 100% mentally in this game right now, like especially with breeding the eggs, like when you literally just sit there and you have to check your basket like once every 4 minutes, like I can just sit back, relax, and like talk and have a good time and not have to worry about like, oh my god, wait, did my opponent use, like how many bosses do my opponents go through? Okay, this deck usually uses about like, you know, usually roughly they have 2 bosses in there, like I see that one of them is dead. Like I'm not doing that when I'm breeding eggs, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's easier to
I need to
freaking
try
reset.
streaming Violet. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun. And then like you want to interact with chat and stuff like that, but it's just so hard.
No, 100%.
And it's
I
like
mean,
it's crazy. Like when I'm playing in a tournament, I always try to talk to the chat while I'm playing a tournament. Like PJ has been hosting these post rotation tournaments the past couple weeks, and I've been playing in them. And I think in like round 1, like I got home, like I was on. It was like I was rushing to get home. I had 5 minutes to turn on my computer, start the stream, submit my deck list, and all that stuff. And I got home and like I started the stream and everything, and then like I was in such a rush into my head that like the first round of the tournament I was just making so many like dumb misplays. I was supposed to gust a Pokemon and I forgot to do it, and it's like so yeah, like playing in a tournament or even just in a normal match while talking to your chat, it can be difficult. It's something that I've personally been able to find a little bit easier, but it can be a struggle sometimes to do that, to like focus on 2 different things at once, especially when chat's like going fast, or you know there's too much conversation going on, there's too much to talk about. It's like you can get wrapped up in both really easily, and it causes you to, you know, not think or do stuff that like you don't want to do. There's stuff like that, you know. So
no, 100%. I was just about to say, like, the Twitch streaming itself, the multitasking, that's a skill set you have to build up.
It is.
Again, that's another thing I was able to carry from like my radio days. You know, you're talking about something, you're prepping the next song, you're looking at requests. It's a lot of the same, because even in my channel, I'm playing Pokemon. Sometimes I'm playing the literally finals of the late night, and I'm also checking if I have song requests. You know? And
I could never do that. Never.
no,
Never.
I love doing
No.
it. I don't think I can do just one thing. That's kind of my thing. Like sometimes, like that's why when I'm watching a movie, I also want to be like playing a game or whatnot. Unless it's like a really good movie, I have to really pay attention.
yeah,
to.
you gotta focus.
You know?
Yeah, that's me when I'm in the movie theaters watching a movie. Like because I'm so like, I guess like as I'm like so like giddy and stuff, like I always have like a song playing in my head while I'm watching a movie, like at the movie theaters, because I just can't sit there for 2.5 hours watching a movie. I love going to the movies. I go to the movies.
LDF's
all
got
time.
the radio in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I am obsessed with music and I am addicted to listening to music, that whenever I'm watching a movie, I always have a song just playing in my head on repeat, and then I get in the car.
We need like the LDF brain station hap going on here. He's got like the radio channel in his head.
It's actually crazy.
That's
Because
pretty
yeah,
funny.
I'm like that. I have to always be doing something. I'm always fidgeting and stuff. Like literally, I'm always like shuffling a deck because I'm always trying to do something. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of part of my nature. You know, so I guess that's why it's maybe easier for like us to like be able to like do 2 things at once like that as easily, because you know we're so like that, where we have to be doing things. We always have to be doing something. You know what I mean? We can't just be sitting there and not doing anything.
100%.
You know?
It's a personality quirk, but at the same time, yeah, it's a skill set that we've practiced, right?
Yeah.
It's
It's my energy deck that I got to practice shuffling for regionals, because I don't know who knows this, but so like I was like a musician before I started school and like became a nurse and stuff. Like I actually was a musician. I was a music major. And I played piano growing up, and when I was a music major, I studied percussion, so all hand stuff. The thing is like I have like small hands, right? I have small hands, so like holding like a deck of 60 cards is actually like very difficult for me. Like I have a hard time like I have a hard time shuffling because I have small hands. So like I do have to actually practice shuffling because I don't want to show up and be like that one girl who's like,
Yeah, I played against some people who like do some really sus shuffling. I'm like, let me. You want to come my deck? Yeah, sure. And I take their deck and shuffle it for them. Yeah.
Do you
yeah,
double
so I don't want to be
sleeve?
that person.
Trial by fire?
Oh my gosh.
It's a good habit. Honestly, it's a good habit to get into. Just sitting there shuffling the deck. It's like, it's the equivalent of having like one of those like squeeze stress balls or like a fidget spinner or just some like.
But it benefits you, sort of.
Yeah. It makes you better at shuffling decks, like especially like when you got like nice new sleeves on and stuff. Just makes it very easy to shuffle and yeah.
Yeah,
What
like I
sleeves do
can
you
do a
guys
half
use?
deck, no problem, but like a full deck,
Full
like
deck.
that's my struggle. These are so like kind of a hot take. These are the Dragon Shield dual mats, and I know like a lot of people don't like those, but
Are
like
they the crypt ones?
these are crypt because like I
Yes,
like
'cause
the
I just
dual
got
mat
those.
colors so much more.
Yeah, they're so
I
nice.
love the dual mat colors, like especially like that lagoon or the orchid. Like oh my god, like
I
I
need
want
to get
all of
orchids
my
too.
decks
Yeah.
in those, and like the black like finish on the inside is like so clean. I love
Yeah.
it so much. But like these, they splitteroni.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with the new dual mat sleeves, the Ember and the Fury ones and the purple ones. Is like I got them and within a week, especially the Fury ones, which is so disappointing. Like the red and black ones, the Fury ones, like they're supposed to be my
Fury.
sleeves.
The
And
Fury.
they friggin' no joke. Like I've gone through almost the whole pack in like 2 months because they just keep ripping and tearing every time I shuffle. It sucks. But yeah, dual mats are the best. I'm not even sponsored by Dragon Shield, and they're the best. Like they're just like.
But we
they're
should
just
be.
that
Hit
good.
us up.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorites are the KMC Hypermats. Have you guys ever used that?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Never
they're
heard
more
of
of
them.
like an Asia thing. But those are like I was just gonna say, if you have smaller hands, Lindsay, those are really tight fitting on your card, so it's smaller as a deck in general. I know that because I have a 6-year-old who's trying to get into the game, who's has trouble shuffling. I'm like, oh, maybe I just have to get like
We
the
probably have similar size
small
hands.
sleeves,
So
you know.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
I
very
feel that.
wholesome actually. On Friday, when I was at locals, round 1, I played against like a newer player. Like it was a kid, a newer player with his mom. And while he was playing against me, I felt bad. I was playing Lost Box. He was playing like a starter deck, and I'm like, I get like turn 1 cramp. I'm like cramp. Oh, 6 prizes, I win. But he was using a deck without sleeves on, and obviously while I was playing against him, I was kind of helping him play the game. I'm like, oh, so you want to do this? Are you sure you don't want to, like, do you have a Pokemon to put on your bench? Like I was helping him like against me to like make sure he knows what he's doing. I don't want to like just kick his butt. And I'm like, because he's not using sleeves on his deck, and I'm like, I told his mom, I'm like, so see the sleeves I'm using? These are like Dragon Shields, and I'm like, these are the best sleeves to get. I would recommend using them. And then maybe like 20 minutes later, they got Dragon Shields at the game store, and the mom came up to me and was like, thank you. Like, they really liked them. It's like, they're very slippery, but like, they're really good. And I'm like, yeah, like, when you're playing, you want to have like sleeves on your deck, because he was playing without sleeves, and it's just like hard to shuffle. You can't like, it's hard, like, it's hard to shuffle them when they don't have sleeves on, because the cards are so like hard and, thin, right? So.
100%. It's not
I
just
can be
about
like,
protecting the
Mom,
card.
you're gonna be you're like, Mom, you're gonna be spending a lot of monies. You're also gonna want to protect those cards, and like, they
Yeah.
are much easier to shuffle.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you definitely should get, sleeves for your kid. They're very important to have on your deck, and I recommend getting, the Dragon Shield sleeves. And I'm like, I recommend dual mats, but you can also get like the normal ones. I think I was using the ivory ones, and I was like, yeah, and there you go. And just after
And you're like,
that,
and go to
I got
YouTube.
sleeves. That's actually, yeah. Someone told me, he's like, oh, you should watch Little Dark Fear on YouTube, and I'm like sitting there like, yeah, he's a good guy. I think 30 minutes later, the mom and the kid came out, and she's like, oh, we just noticed you from YouTube. Oh, can my son take a picture of you? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh.
It was funny, but yeah, shout out to them for them. Yeah.
I love that story. Thank you for sharing,
We
LDF.
can
It's very
we can
wholesome.
kind of like we can briefly discuss some of the day one San Diego, because like we said, we only really kind of know the day one situation for San Diego. A lot of the times we'll kind of wait until, depending on how the timing is, we'll usually like wait until like the Sunday evening to do the to talk about the regionals. But it's also with it being in San Diego, like 3 hours behind
Yeah.
LDF and I anyway, so like it just is not realistic for us to try to record this after we get those results. So we are just going to be kind of like quickly going over that day one, which not really too many surprises for me, to be completely honest. We all kind of know that Lugia was going to be the most played deck. I think Mew was number 2, then the Lost Box Rayquaza number 3, Reggie number 4, regular Lost Box 5, and then Eternatus Weezing, which like we kind of like knew that though. Like it's been played online so much. Everyone's been playing it on Limitless Regionals.
It's honestly
Limitless,
not a bad
tournaments.
deck. Yeah, I think Frank Persick really popularized it after his run at like Arlington. And yeah, now it's like one of the most played decks, which is crazy because everyone wrote off E-Turn. Like when Urshifu came out, it's like, oh, this card sucks, never gonna be good again. And all of a sudden, thanks to
That's when
Galarian
like COVID
Weezing,
happened too. Like COVID happened, and so E-Turn never really got the in-person play.
yeah, and it's finally getting that like time to shine, and it's legit a pretty solid deck. I mean, the E-Turn being able to one-shot anything, the Weezing Marnie Judge spam is very, very good. And the thing I like about that deck, too, is it gets to use Hisuian Sneasler and Galarian Goon. So against Comfey, you can literally just go Weezing Sneasler, Goon, KO a Comfey in one hit. And the Sneasler actually makes the math even more awkward. A lot of the time, the opponent gets KO'd going into your turn, which can be very good. So that deck's like actually legit pretty decent. No, it's basically Weezing, but with E-Turn.
Yeah, I'm a huge believer in E-Turn. I piloted that in Salt Lake City. I went 5-4 in Salt Lake City. I didn't get to day 2, but I have a positive record. I'm pretty proud of that. But
still
it was you almost got points, was just right? Something I built. I just built it. And I just really believed in the deck and the mechanic, especially against the at the time we were at the Lost Origin meta, so it was Lost Box galore, and I was just like, I'm just gonna eat Lost Box. I think that's my goal. I want to run into that and maybe Mew. And I didn't run into any Mew, but Lost Box, great matchup. I was playing it with the Hisuian Samurott at the time because we didn't have a V-Star, right? We didn't have the Seal Stone at the time. That's really and it's just a great way to manipulate the board state. Again, and because that's what when in Salt Lake, that's what I saw, and I was like, I think this would be a great play. And we're slowly going back into a lot of Lost Box meta, right? So, and I'm just like, maybe Weezing seems like a great play again. Forest Seal Stone is just a great addition to the deck, and I want to play it more. I want to play it more. I was so excited to see it in a graphic of all things.
That's crazy. And, it was on stream too. I think Jeremy Jalen was playing it. So it's definitely a good deck, and honestly, it might be on my list now for like what I want to play at Orlando because like it looks like just a fun deck to play, and it's also kind of nice to just cheese the opponent with Weezing. You know,
you're like, you can't play.
Exactly.
It has 2 modes, right? You're literally a control deck at the start. I'm gonna shut off your abilities. I'm gonna try and establish a lock. But the minute it's just abilities. It's not items. You're gonna slow your opponent down, but maybe not by that much. But the minute you break the lock, hopefully I was able to either damage something or establish my board. Now you're going to have to deal with a 340 HP giant hand Pokemon that's doing 300 damage for 2 energy.
Yep.
That's not
Freaking
too bad.
Tank.
Yeah, so 100%.
Not bad at all.
Love the deck. I love the deck to death.
I did see a very funny comment on the stream when they were showing the Eternatus matchup. Saw a really funny comment, but one of my friends, Clam Burglar, shout out Clam Burglar. I know I know him and his wife are a very very regular listener of the pod, but he wrote a comment that just like sent me over the moon. He said Returnatus.
It's
the Returnatus.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's like, COVID, happened in 2020, kind of when at the beginning of the Sword and Shield era. So it's like
E-Turn
never really got to saw that play. It was just no online or no regionals or in-person events really to see that. Then of course, like when Urshifu came out, it was just kind of like pooping all over that. I mean,
yeah. I think one of the things that makes E-Turn good too is like Palkia's fallen off quite a bit. Palkia was another bad matchup because you literally basically are asking to get KO'd by Palkia by filling your bench up. But
like now with like the Weezing too, like it makes it kind of impossible for the Palkia even really to set up. So it's
exactly it's funny because like Weezing or E-Turn technically kept getting better. It kept getting dark Pokemon. Like we got Moltres, Darkrai, Dark Patch, Samurott. Weezing, Sneasler, you still had the Goons. Like, it just kept getting better. Like, Choice Bell was a really big upgrade for the deck, too, because now you're just one-shotting, like, for 300 damage. It just never saw the play, but it's like the perfect time for E-Turn to be in the format, and I'm so happy to see it, and especially now that it's going to be rotating in like a couple months. It's only got like 2 tournaments left after
Especially,
this. So.
yeah, we're going out of, we're going to start going into Scarlet and Violet. It's about time. One of the main Pokemon from Sword and Shield got it's Spotlight.
Yeah, Zacian and Zam, they've hogged all the spotlight. We got to give some up to
100%,
E-Turn,
100%.
Yeah,
Do you guys? I don't know
really
if it's real though. But did you guys see that Twitter post? Someone posted that they're playing the triple dogs. Like
yeah, the Zacian v Zacian. Yeah, what is that all about? I'm trying to wonder on that. I'm like,
that one, I was like, okay, if this one wins,
and they're like
that's
first seed or something. They're doing really, they're doing really, they're like first seed. I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
Is it real? Is it real? Or do I just get played by Twitter? But yeah, it'd be a good goodbye to Zacian,
Literally, all 3 Zacian.
That's so ridiculous. Like, I feel like in these last 2 tournaments that we have in the format, like we're gonna see some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to Orlando and Knoxville, and I'm honestly one of those 2 tournaments. I might just say screw it and just play something really stupid, as long as it's good and I know can win games. It's something stupid, because I've been on stream before and I was playing Mewtwo Lugia, which is like a cool rogue deck, and I'm all about the rogue deck, so I'm probably gonna do that again. I'll probably play something a little bit more serious to one of the tournaments, and then the other one I'll just play something kind of silly and fun that is legit a good deck, but just a cool deck that just meme on someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was rooting for you there, LDF. That was hilarious. I was not expecting Lugia Mewtwo.
It's so saucy. Good. Like it's so saucy.
I still think the deck is actually like decent in the format. But yeah, it's just I'm sad I didn't get the Mewtwo out in that game against Grant, which is like a matchup I need to put the Mewtwo into play, because if I put the Mewtwo into play, I probably just win. But yeah, it just kind of didn't work out that way, unfortunately. Yeah. But every other game I got it out. It was just, of course, one game on stream I couldn't.
It had to be like Mewtwo was like, I'm camera shy.
Apparently, jeez. Yeah.
I mean, I really like the meta at the moment. I know there's been so many Lugia doomsayers as we were getting into it, and it was correct. The Lugia was just the best deck.
It's ADP levels of good. Like it's basically the same. It reminds me of ADP.
But I'm glad to see that despite the overwhelming dominance of how powerful the Lugia deck is, that we get to see triple Zacian, if that's the real deck, or
that's what I'm saying.
So many different kinds of lost
I'm a real deck.
we even saw Ditto Shedinja on stream too.
Yeah.
Against Control. So I mean, you didn't really get to show the deck off and do anything, but it was kind of cool. It was a cool idea. It was like a Ditto Control deck with Shedinja Garbodor in it. So it's like 2 decks put into one, which was really cool. I thought that was like a really, really cool deck. Unfortunately, she got paired against Control on stream, so it's like, it just kind of Evoltall and sucks. But shook a tail with Garbodor.
Some crazy stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I like about this format. Honestly, like for as centralized as the format is around Lugia and how meta warping is, and kind of Lugia kind of gatekeeps a lot of fun decks. This Evoltall being able to KO anything is kind of toxic, but I will say there's been some freaking just wacky stuff that's come out in the past like little bit. So it's like kind of cool to see, like Amazing Rare Rayquaza. Everyone said was the worst Amazing Rare for the longest time. Now it's like one of the best decks in the format. So stuff like that. And even Evoltall was trash for like a year and a half, and all of a sudden it's now gatekeeping a lot of cards in the meta. It's just crazy, and it's kind of like we're in the Twilight Zone in my opinion. It's just friggin' you know.
I never thought I'd see the day where, Celebrations Kyogre is a legitimate fear.
Yeah, we all thought that was like a ladder meme deck, and now all of a sudden it's like a legit meta contender.
Yeah, Mirage Gate opened up so many doors to the back rooms.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, it literally did. Yeah, we are living in the back rooms, honestly. Because it could have just been another big V-Star hit meta, like, oh, my Flying Pikachu hits your Palkia weakness. I take 4 prizes, I win. But now it's like Lost Zone is causing bad cards to become BDIF. Definitely the back rooms, without a doubt.
Like the minute you see a Comfey, it's not like, you don't know what you're going to do yet,
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what am I playing against? It could be
you're like, I need to see the energies. And like, I honestly thought about doing this with Arc Intel, and I feel like you could also probably do it with Lost Box, like depending on like which, like if you just run like Snorlax as like your support attacking Pokemon. I've thought about doing this with Arc Intel, where like you just run Rainbow Energies just to throw off your opponent. So like doing Arc Intel, still having like a capacious bucket, but like also running like energy search just to like have rainbow energies just to like
energy.
psych your opponent out.
Yeah.
One of the decks in the Asia Open I was able to watch was a Lost Box Kyogre and Rayquaza. So I was just like, oh, you're just gonna put everything in the deck then.
Everybody's welcome to the party.
I know, like Raikou Rayquaza is a thing, but Kyogre, that's spicy.
Yeah,
And that's why I did like this weekend. Like I said in the weekly recap, I played a Lost Box deck with Snorlax, Charizard, Sableye, Cram. The spicy tech was I played the Amazing Rare Evoltal because I already had Twin and the Mirage Gate in the deck and the Fire and the Dark and Psychic.
Ooh.
I didn't use it once. It was there.
But you could have.
You could have.
I could have used it. I could have used it.
Sometimes all you need is like putting it on the bench to inflict the fear of it to the opponent. The way it changes the way they play, right? The fact that, oh no, I can potentially get one shot. Maybe I won't VMAX yet. Maybe I'll hold it into my hand, you know?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just thought it would be such a power move. Like, imagine like you're playing against like an Arc Intel. And, like, say if you're playing like, if you're playing like Lugia, something that's weak to lightning, and then like you see me like put a few like lightning energy, you'd be like, well, what else is in there? Like what what else does she play?
It's
just pure Arc Intel with different energies. So you
yeah,
throw
just
the
rainbow. Just like I thought about doing that. Like just rainbow energies. That way, like you never know what my supporting Pokemon is going to be. Then like at the end of it, it's like you don't see anything else. You're like, well, what was it? I'm like, nothing.
No. That's
smart.
completely valid. Like you a grass energy there forces your opponent to play around Beedrill the entire time.
Exactly, and like have like a lightning energy or like put like a fire, be like, oh my god, like what is she playing?
Yeah. She's got Zard, and that's so spicy. That's toxic but spicy.
It's toxic.
It is the clickbait deck. That is like the.
But like I'm not like it's just they're just rainbow energies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not there for any specific reason. Didn't we see like a game where someone had to do that where they had to like use the energy? Do you remember that?
Yes, that's where the idea came from. Yes, that's where the idea came from. It was when Dylan was playing in day 2 of NAIC. He was playing. I forgot what it's called, but it's like when some of your cards are, I guess, like are warped or something, and they have to use basic energies in place of it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
He was playing against Brandon Salazar. I remember that.
Yeah, and I can't remember like what the situation was. Like it was like he was able to use like he had to use like basic energies instead of like some cards like the V-Star or something, and so like he was playing, I think he was just playing like Arc Intel, but like he had like all these like different energies as he was using, but like Dylan knew what was going on, but like us watching, we didn't know what was going on. And LDF and I were like, oh my god, what is that? Is he playing like Kecleon? Like what's happening? Like I haven't seen a supporting Pokemon, like why, like. But then we were like, oh, that's like actually like his V-Star. And
V-Star, yeah.
So that's when I had the idea. I was like, oh, that's like actually super, super toxic. Like, I wonder if anyone's like done that.
That's
probably not for good reason, but.
Probably not.
I don't
just
know.
Against a friend, just to mess with him a little bit.
Yeah. It'd be like a fun like locals thing, just to like troll.
Troll people, yeah.
All right. I have a question for you guys, though. Just, since we don't know just yet, we don't know the results of the tournament, what are your bets? Who's going to win tomorrow? What's going to win tomorrow?
The who is tough. I am rooting for that Zacian deck if that thing is actually legit. I want E-Turn to win. I made a video on my second channel, and I was like, E-Turn is going to do top 4. I said I don't think it's going to win, but I think it's going to do top 4, top 8. So I want to see it win or at the very least get top 8.
Shmugia.
Yeah, Lugia's probably going to win.
I think Shmugia is going to win.
Well, I'm rooting for teammate Zach Lesage, who's 11th seed at the moment.
I feel bad. Sorry, Zach.
Arctura, I think, is not a bad meta call right now, especially
not at
so
all.
Many Reggie Gigas in the
Reggie.
In the top seed.
Yeah,
right?
I think Isaiah's group's all on Reggie.
Yeah. So I think Arctura might be.
Well, I know Xander was playing Mew with the Aerodactyl V-Star.
That was really spicy, yeah. The Aerodactyl Mew. That's funny. It's like, why don't I just put Aerodactyl in all my decks? So if I play against Mew, I win the coin flip. That's actually kind of fun. But hey, you know what? It works. There's a reason why like the Arceus Aerodactyl deck is getting popular now. Is because it's the same concept. You just play a 1/1 Aerodactyl or something, and if you win the coin flip against Lugia, and as long as you don't miss the Aerodactyl out, you just win that matchup basically.
That is true. That's why I've tried I honestly just tried like a full Aerodactyl deck online just because I wanted to play with Aerodactyl.
Dactyl, yeah. It's good,
Another
it's good.
interesting deck is the return of Gudra. I'm on.
Yeah, we know
The
Israel Sosa's on the Gudra deck, and he's
Goo.
doing good with it. He won it. Did he? No, I think he tied on stream against the Arceus, Aerodactyl, Pikachu, Espeon, and Polion deck.
The
But yeah,
Goo.
Gudra's what won at locals. What I lost to in the finals, it was lost Gudra. It's a legit decent deck. I think I did a video on the Shuffle Squad on them like 2-3 weeks ago, and I actually kind of like the deck. I think it's better than Arc Gudra. You actually get access to Moisture Star, and you also get the Lost Zone engine instead of having to use Arceus, so you don't lose to Lugia kind of just going first and just knocking your Arceus out. You know what I mean? I like that deck actually a lot more. And I think it's a legit deck. It's also something that I'm eyeing up for Orlando or Knoxville because it's just a fun, different deck.
100%. I love.
Does it use a
seeing Gudra.
Fantina?
No. It's like
No
Temple,
Fantina?
Sinnoh, Roxanne, Marnie, yeah. Yeah, no Sableye. It's literally just Gudra, Cram, and like Comfy, basically, and like Greninja. That's about it.
I mean,
It's
just
spicy.
win all the Lost Box matches too. You know,
Literally.
all the
It
Lost,
farms
all the
everything.
Reggies.
I just have to
why
say
not?
really quick, I am still so disappointed that Hisuian Zoroark never did well. I was so hyped about it.
Yeah. I mean, it might make a comeback with rotation because it is a pretty cool, like, one-shot everything in your path type deck. But yeah, Zoroark just unfortunately, I think the problem is it kind of loses to like Lost Box, and it,
I think.
I mean, yeah, it can't
I
really
think
be Lost
Lugia
Box.
just stole the. It's the better colorless one-shotter at the moment.
Yeah. Like, Zoroark theoretically can't keep up with Lugia because Lugia basically is a single price deck. Let's attack with Evil Tall and Charizard, and it's like, okay, they go Lugia, Evil Tall, Charizard, and I lose. So just kind of sucks. Just didn't have the tempo.
Yeah.
But maybe
But
after
rotation could get good, yeah.
rotation for sure.
Rotation, it could be better.
Rotation, maybe. We will see.
I'm excited because I've been playing a couple rotation tournaments. I played Arc Drago. I won one of them. And Arc Drago seems pretty solid because Reggie Drago can copy Gudra, Giratina, Duraludon, which is really all you need. And funny enough, I play against 2 Lugias in top 4 in the tournaments, which is funny because it's rotation. It's like Lugia's supposed to be trash now, but it's not.
It's really going to be like single strike Lugia.
Well, it was Rapid Strike Lugia, which I barely was able to beat. And then the finals, I played against Evan Campbell, who's on just like Lugia with like slacking. And almost bodied me. The last game, he priced all 4 Archeops and scooped right away. I'm like, okay, thank you for the turn you win. But
Yeah, no, that's insane. Yeah, like it's been interesting thinking about the post rotation Lugias because like you really don't have that many options, and like single strike, of course, being I feel like the best one because you can do earn a vitality and get the single strike energies back when something gets knocked out.
knocked out, yeah.
I've been testing just Lugia. Who needs options? I'll just play Lugia.
I
I'll
thought
share
about
its
that,
care.
yeah, like pure Lugia.
Yeah,
with like maybe
you
like
know?
Regigigas or something, just like other colors Pokemon, Snorlax.
Yeah, you just have to get whatever special energies you want. But like that still wouldn't be bad with the single strike energies because you can get them back with the
Yeah,
earns.
you can earn them back. Yeah, exactly.
And I've also been kind of like experimenting with like doing a mixture between that, like the single strike energies with the earns, and then like Blaziken, attaching the energies from the discard pile, like late game. Like if you
Would Blaziken wouldn't work though with single strike though, right? It would only be rapid.
no, but like you would also use rapid strike energies. You'd also use the rapid strike energies.
Okay, that's spicy.
You play
And, like,
Espeon then? Because you... I don't... No, sorry, Sylveon. No.
We'll hit the lab. We'll hit the lab. I know we're all like,
Yeah.
huh.
I want.
We'll hit the
Sylveon.
lab.
If Urshifu ends up being good with rotation because lightning Pokemon get better, then Sylveon might actually be legit again. Or at least we know Gardevoir EX is coming out, so we'll have to see on that one. Yeah, we'll definitely do an episode where we talk about rotation. We definitely still have to do that and talk all about like what will be good and what we can expect. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good time to kind of wrap things up here. We had a pretty good episode, talked about a lot in this episode. So yeah, I guess before we head off, do you have any final thoughts?
The platform is yours, Primetime, to plug any
whatever you want,
socials, self promos.
No, just thank you guys for having me on. It was a blast. I've been waiting. I've been so excited to be on the pod, and it's been great. You can find me on my Twitch, PrimeTimeWizardTV. I'm planning to get my my YouTube going. That's one of my goals this year is to get YouTube going, and I'm pretty excited about some of the content I have lined up. It's funny, you shared a story earlier, LDF, and that's kind of something I wanted to do. It involves like just feel good stories basically, and that was a perfect one. Thank you for sharing. And I'm very very hyped for that. And yeah, just check me out on the Shuffle Squad.
Of course, the Shuffle Squad. Can't forget to plug them. PJ, I'm sorry.
No full plug, wearing the shirt and everything, doing my job. Yeah.
Yeah, PJ, yeah, he's got a gun to my head.
Saying the Shuffle Squad.
Tournament of Champions. Make sure you join. Yeah.
Make sure you sign
Tournament
up
of
for that.
Champions. Yeah,
Sure.
you guys might want to join because I would really love to get my flight and hotel paid for. So
I didn't get to share, but I won a trip to Japan recently.
Did you?
Yeah, there was a tournament here in the Philippines. Like literally, I just got back.
Oh, I saw your tweet about. Yeah,
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
tweet about it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
I
you tweet
tweeted
about
about
it? Okay,
it.
yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
literally
that's
just got
awesome.
back, and I played in a
Nice.
tournament. Grand prize was a trip to Japan. Won the tournament. Now
Wow.
I have a trip. No hotel though. Not as good as the Tournament of Champions. But I have a ticket.
well, good thing you're casting a lot of it. Otherwise, we don't have to like be scared about how you're going to beat us. So
For
That's
sure. I'm
true.
very, very excited to cast. I wonder who with too. We'll have to
We'll see.
tune
We'll
in to
have
find
see.
out.
Yeah,
follow the Shuffle Squad for more.
exactly.
But yeah, I think we're in a great place. So thank you so much for coming on. We have been wanting you on literally since the beginning, and I'm glad that we are finally here to where you're the first episode that we are recording in the new year, starting it off
Oh.
strong.
Nice. You know, it's going to be a good year then.
Of
It'll be
course,
a
of course.
very good year. But yeah, I think that's probably about it for today. Thank you all for listening and watching the podcast, and we will see you all next time for episode numero 24. We will see you all later.
Peace out.
Bye.
See ya.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at ptcgostore.com.
PokeX Word, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.